Stanley Cup predictions, Blackhawks overs and unders, and postseason awards. All that coming up next on our CHGO Blackhawks 2025-26 season predictions show. Happy Monday. Welcome into the CHGO Blackhawks podcast. I'm Jay Zawoski. That's Greg Boyson. That's Mario Tirabassi, who got rocked in his hockey game last night and is very, very sore. We'll spray some icy hot on him and we'll get through the show. Thanks for being with us.
Yeah, icy hot's good for broken ribs.
Take a bath in it. There you go. We're going to make all of our predictions today, so a lot to get to. Not a lot of time to do it, so we're going to get right to things. Before we do, please do us a favor and hit that like button for us. Make sure you are subscribed to our YouTube as well. And if you're listening on your favorite podcast app, thank you. Be sure to make sure you're following and leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Here's what we're going to cover today. Central Division predictions from top to bottom. We're going to give you our East and West playoff teams, our Stanley Cup Final, our Stanley Cup champions, some Blackhawks overs and unders, and some postseason awards. So let's start right off with our Central Division predictions. I'm going to go top to bottom here in the Central. I'm picking the Dallas Stars to win the Central Division. I have in my notes here, I think they're going to go wire to wire first place. I think that they are on a mission this year, and having Mikko Rantanen for a full season, that will help them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
It won't hurt.
Next up, I have Colorado in second. I think Colorado is starting to realize what we told our friends at DNVR a couple years ago. Don't assume you're going to be the best team in hockey for a decade, because it doesn't always work that way. I think Colorado might have a sense of urgency this year that we haven't seen in seasons past. I've got Winnipeg, very deep, very strong. Yes, they lose Nikolai Ehlers, but they're still a really good team. And I do think Jonathan Toews is going to have not a huge role, but an important middle-sized role for Jonathan Toews. I have the Minnesota Wild, the Utah Mammoth, Nashville, St. Louis, and Chicago rounding out the bottom. I think Nashville is going to have a bit of a bounce back. They're not going to be the complete train wreck they were last year, but still not a playoff team, not a wild card team in my mind.
Alrighty. Central Division, my top three, I think, are the same. Maybe the top four. I wasn't paying attention. I lost after you said Jonathan Toews. I tuned out. Dallas, they're winning the division. They're foreshadowing a really good team, one of the deepest teams in the league, and they're good at hockey. So those teams usually win divisions.
Yeah.
Colorado, second, but not that far behind Dallas. I think they're going to be a really good team again this year, but we'll see what happens postseason-wise. You know, they're very top-heavy. I don't like their bottom six, and they've already got goalie injuries, so see how that plays out. Winnipeg, third. They were the President's Trophy winners last year. I think that was a bit of an overachievement. I don't think Connor Harlowbuck is having a Hart and Vezina Trophy winning season again, but they're still a very good team. I think Kyle Connor is going to have a huge year.
Contract year.
It's his contract year.
Good timing for him.
Yeah.
Also, suddenly becoming one of the
he's
maybe
right
the top
now
dude.
the top free agent.
Yeah.
Because nobody's going to be left again. Then I have Utah Mammoth taking a little step, finishing fourth. Minnesota fifth. St. Louis sixth. I have the Blackhawks.
Ooh.
Not in last place.
Hang a banner.
Slightly better than Nashville. You say they're going to have a bounce back. I say they're garbage. They went out and tried to make their blue line better, and now everybody's hurt.
Yeah.
I think Andrew Burnett is going to get the old heave-ho very quickly here.
He is the favorite to be the first coach fired in the NHL.
I mean, it's either him or Lindy Ruff. Those are the two guys you can flip a coin and probably be right. Barry Trotz, an amazing head coach so far. Over his no neck head for as a GM.
How dare you?
Hockey knowledge is not always interchangeable from position to position.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
Player to front office and all that.
I hope you're right about Nashville, because they have finally done it. I care about them in a negative way. Like forever, it felt like
actually,
Chicago, you're our biggest rival, and it's like, that's adorable. That's great. Good job, sport. A little pinch them on the cheek on the way out the door. Now they have annoyed me over the last 20-some years, whatever it is, to the point where it's like, good, go suck, go be obscure, and go away. So I hope you're right.
Yes, I will
Well,
be right.
Pretty similar, actually. I think same as Greg.
Were you
but,
copying off of me? No, you've got the Wild and the Mammoth.
Oh, okay,
switch.
okay, yeah. I also have Dallas at the top, winning the Central Division, behind the performance of Jake Ottinger. So I'll bring him up later in the show. Avalanche a close second, Jets in third. I have the Wild in fourth. I have Utah Mammoth in fifth. Blues sixth. I believe in this Blackhawks group to not be complete ass all season, to the tune of finishing seventh in the Central Division. Not far ahead, but just ahead of the Nashville Predators, because when it came down to it, do I believe that they're more last season in the standings or on paper? And we had the proof in the standings. So I think that would be a lot for them to kind of overcome. I know they still finished 7 points ahead of the Blackhawks last year, but I think this Blackhawks team is going to be much better than what last year proved, and I don't know if Nashville got any better, if not worse.
Well, and it sounds like too, if things get off to a bad start in Nashville, which they very well could,
shipping out half.
they're gonna
Yeah.
they're gonna sell off.
They're
And
gonna-
then
they're
Riley
gonna
will
start
be
moving.
gone. Marchessault will be gone. All those guys.
and then Steven Stamkos will join the Florida Panthers right in time for the playoffs.
Oh,
That'd be fun.
Stamkos joining the Panthers and then facing the Lightning in that rivalry.
Spicy.
That's drama.
Plus, I think with the Blackhawks' youth and infusion this season, like if things like they hit those rough patches, I don't think it's going to affect them as much as it would a veteran team. That like, hey, we were brought in here to win, and it's not happening. Like, I think that like ignorance will be bliss for some of these young Blackhawks, where they're like, oh yeah, we've lost 6 in a row. Who cares? We're still going to go out and play hard, and they can fight off adversity, I think, a little better.
I also think you could argue that as the season goes on, the Hawks should be getting better, adjusting the Blashill system, young players gaining more experience. You're probably calling up some more talented players, and Ryan Green's already called up. If you missed it, Landon Slaggert went to IR, so Ryan Green is called up now. So lots of young guys. You might add Boisvert, you might add Frondel. So as the year goes on, they should be getting better, while some of these teams that are underachieving, like Nashville or whoever else you want to say, St. Louis,
Minnesota,
might start
maybe.
shipping people off. And because Minnesota's going to have to figure something out again. I mean, they're okay cap space wise now, but you just signed $17 million for Kirill Kaprizov. Like,
And you still have
They
to
have to
give
make some
some
tough decisions.
You still have to give some of those other young guys bigger paychecks.
Yeah.
So that's all right. Bill Guerin, he's great. That's
He'll
what
figure it
That's
out,
what
yeah.
they tell me. He's awesome.
yes. All right, now we're going to move on to our Eastern Conference playoff teams. I'm going to go, Atlantic, Metro, and my 2 wildcard teams. So in the Atlantic, these are in no particular order. These are just the 8 teams I think are going to make it. I've got Toronto, Tampa, Montreal. In the Atlantic, I got New Jersey, Washington, and Carolina in the Metro, with the Rangers and the Panthers hitting the wild card. The rumors of the demise of the Panthers are exaggerated now. Losing Barkov for the whole year, bad. Not having Matthew Tkachuk
Not ideal.
until, December?
At
the
least,
soonest,
yeah.
not good. They still have a crap ton of talent on that team, and I think it will be a bit of a race for them to get there, but I think by the end of the year, they'll add someone at the deadline or sooner, and they'll get over that hump and make the playoffs. And then once that starts, you never know.
Yep.
So those are my 8 East playoff teams.
All right. My East playoff teams are in order of how I think they will finish. Toronto will win the Atlantic. Tampa second. I have Montreal finishing third. In the Metro, I have New Jersey winning the division. The Rangers will have a bounce back year. I hate to say it, but they weren't as bad as they were last year, and they got Mike Sullivan, so they'll be a playoff team this year. Carolina third. Washington and the Panthers will get the 2 wild cards. Washington was really good last year, number 1 team in the East, but I think they just like Winnipeg last year, I think they overachieved, and you don't have Alex Ovechkin playing out of his skull to break the record, so they'll come back to earth a little bit, but they'll still be good enough to make the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, I think in the East, you kind of get a good sense of the haves and have-nots. I think the West is a little bit more open to interpretation, but for me, in the Eastern Conference, I have out of the Atlantic, I have Tampa, Toronto, and Florida, with Montreal and Ottawa also coming out of the Atlantic, and then out of the Metro, just 3 teams: Carolina, New Jersey, and Washington. I think the Atlantic has enough talent in that group and actual contenders, and I don't really believe in what the Rangers are doing to have their bounce back. I don't know if JT Miller as the leader of that team is the narrative you want. I don't know. That's not selling me. I'm not sold on Detroit being a playoff team. I like Montreal to be in a better position than Detroit as far as the wild card chase. So that's where I'm going with.
The Rangers are interesting because they underachieved so badly last year.
Yeah, they were the President's Trophy winning team the year before.
Yeah, like there's
so were they as good as they were 2 years ago?
No.
Probably not. Were they as bad as they were last year? No. So the truth is somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, you also
which
have
is
Panarin,
second or third place in the division.
Panarin in a contract year 2.
Yeah.
And that they, from what Elliot Friedman says, they asked Panarin to take a discount, and he was like, no.
Yeah, right.
We won't be doing that.
I'll box you for it.
Right. I think you're right, Mario. The East is kind of it's pretty well established who's good and who's not. Ottawa, to me, is a really interesting team. And I think that they're one of those that can go either way. They're going to rely a lot on like their young, good players like taking another step, which I think they can.
Mm-hmm.
But until they really prove it, I'm not sure how much I believe.
I think getting into the playoffs last year and getting that taste, I think that's going to be a team that's motivated. You know, Brady Tkachuk is a guy that's able to get a team motivated, and they got a good young core of players there. I think the biggest thing is going to be goaltending, but if you can be solid all around, again, like I think that wild card in the East probably is going to come down to teams like Montreal, Ottawa, Detroit. The Rangers will be in there as well, but I just think those 4 teams, I like Montreal and Ottawa out of the 4.
I think Montreal is going to be really fun to watch this year too.
Yeah, as much as it might pain Blackhawks fans to see Montreal succeed, probably with Ivan Demidov being a contributor to that, as a hockey fan, you'll have to admit it'll be fun to see the Canadians that's good for the league, that team being good again, and I think they seem like they have a roster built to play some exciting hockey.
They'll score some goals, no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Will they keep how many they'll keep out of their own net is going to be the secret of their success.
Yeah, how do we feel about Mutombo? Had a good year.
He's fine.
I mean, kind of like a mid-tier starter, right? Like
He's okay.
not an all-star. I don't think he's a guy that's going to steal you many games, but solid. You can count on him most nights to show up and give you good performance.
If he has a GA around 3, they should be fine.
Yeah.
You would think.
Because their offense is going to put up numbers.
Yeah, I mean, if he's got anywhere between a 2.9 and a 3.1 GAA, they'll be fine because they're going to score 3.5, 4 goals a game.
And they could be kind of for Hawks fans that are impatient, when you're looking at the Hawks 2-3 years from now, Montreal could be kind of what it looks like.
Yeah,
a lot of young players getting ready to make the turn. Yeah, exactly. All right, we're going to hit the break zone for the first time. This is CHGO Blackhawks presented by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app and use the code CHGO365 when you sign up. It's never, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. We come back, we'll give you our Western Conference playoff predictions, our Cup champs, and a whole lot more coming up next on CHGO Blackhawks.
Hey, if you like betting on football, why not do it with Bet365? Bet365. With their early payout offer, you're a winner if your team goes up by 17 points with an instant payout on straight bets and parlay selections marked as winners. Download the Bet365 app and use the code CHGO365 when you sign up. Looking for a football game to bet? Well, it's Monday Night Football, so you got one.
Yes.
Jaguars and Chiefs. Ooh. And with Bet365, they have a 50% super profit boost token on same game parlays. If you're a new customer, you can get $200 in bonus bets when you bet $5, win or lose. All you got to do is sign up, use the code CHGO365, deposit $10, and place a bet for $5 to get $200 in bonus bets. Whether your bet wins or loses, can be player props, futures, spreads, totals, whatever it is. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary with Bet365. Must be 21 or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER.
And let's be real for a second. The world of soft drinks has gone soft. Too many sparkling waters and kombuchas and certain pops, air quotes, that help you go potty.
I don't need that.
Probiotic soda. No. What you need is a punch in the thirst, and you're going to get one from RC Cola. ASMR time. Listen to that.
Right in my thirst.
It smells like a punch in the throat. I don't know what that would smell like, but it smells damn good.
Smells like RC.
Get yourself some RC Cola. It's an OG cola in a world of spineless soft drinks. No trends, no gimmicks, no glow-ups since 1905. It's been perfect forever. Do yourself a favor. Get some RC at your local store for this weekend's games or for tomorrow's Hawks season opener. RC Cola is not a soft drink, just damn good cola. And the old chair switcheroo happened really fast. We're back on CHGO Blackhawks. We want to let you know about our ongoing Die Hard sale happening right now at allchgo.com. We've got two options for you. $36 for the intro offer. That is the normal
Don't do that
Die Hard offer. So you get the shirt, you get the written content, you get 20% off all the merch and events and takeovers and all that jazz. By the way, some tickets remain for a few of our takeovers, so jump in on those. Or if you want the branded Bills Die Hard hat that's there on your screen right now, you can join the $59 offer. That gets the branded Bills Die Hard hat. That is a limited quantity, so if you want one of those, jump on it quickly. And you get all the perks mentioned with the original deal as well. So a little extra with the hat there for the $59 deal. If you want info, go to allchgo.com/intro to sign up and become a diehard today. We'd love to have you right in time for the brand new NHL season. allchgo.com/intro. All right, now we move on to the Western Conference playoff teams. Central Division, I've got Dallas, Colorado, and Winnipeg. Pacific, I have Vegas, Edmonton, Vancouver. And my wild card teams are Minnesota and Anaheim. I think Anaheim could have a pretty good year. Lots of stuff sort of squared away there contract-wise. You've got McTavish signed. You've got Joel Quenneville taking over. That's going to make a difference. However you feel about Joel Quenneville these days, the guy knows how to coach hockey teams, and they're those young players will have a coach that they trust from day one. So I think Anaheim's going to make a significant jump this year. They had 80 points last year. I could see 10, 12 more points for them and them getting in.
Yeah. I think that's Anaheim is a team that we've pointed to as much like you said about Montreal. Like that's a team that maybe by next year the Hawks could start to emulate what they did last year and could do this year. So I think for the hopes of Hawks fans, if Anaheim makes the playoffs this year, that's something you look and point to and be like, ooh, see, that could be the path.
Well, I don't know. Can they get there without NHL cover boy Trevor Zegras?
That's the big question.
We'll find out.
Well, you will find out. I was personally hoping that we would get Joel Quenneville and Trevor Zegras on the same team.
That would have been interesting.
Amazing.
Pop the popcorn and just sit and enjoy the show. But we got.
Can you imagine if they hadn't fired Torts?
Yeah, right.
Good God.
We have receiving reports that Trevor Zegras has been murdered at practice.
Trevor Zegras and Rick Tocchet is going to be a thing.
That's true. So, that's Torts when you get him on Wish.
Yeah, exactly. Timu Torts. We already know I have the Stars and the Avalanche and the Jets from Winnipeg getting out of the Central. I've got Vegas winning the Pacific with Edmonton Oilers in second and the Vancouver Canucks in third. I think they're going to have a bounce back year. They got all that drama out of there. You know, when your veteran leader and your head coach hate your best player, it's not a great room.
Not great.
All that's gone. I think Elias Pettersson's going to have a huge year this year, and they'll be back in the playoffs if Thatcher Demko can somehow keep his body in one piece this year.
Big if.
My wild card teams, I think the LA Kings are going to make one last playoff push here
Do it for Kopitar.
before things get blown up.
They have Corey Perry.
Yes.
So they're going to the Cup Final.
Right, exactly.
But they'll lose.
And I have Utah getting into the playoffs this year. I think they've done just enough. They've got an exciting young team. They've definitely made their blue line a lot better over the last couple of seasons, and I think their goaltending is taking a step this year too as well, mainly because I have their starter on both of my fantasy teams.
There you go.
I want him to be awesome this
So they
year.
better.
Go
Yeah.
Vegematic. And I think Utah is going to get in and really upset the people in Arizona.
Vancouver's interesting because I feel like they're either going to be good or a disaster. You know, I
Wow.
don't think there's a much of in the middle there. You remove JT Miller, who whichever side of the argument you were on, the Miller or Pettersson side, it's gone now. You don't have to worry about it. Brock Besser, who was in trade rumors seemingly every week last year, is now signed long-term, so he's in the fold. Quinn Hughes, as Philip points out, is a bit of a wild card because people keep talking about all the Hugheses eventually going to New Jersey. But what Quinn Hughes said was...
Why can't they all come to Vancouver?
Right. Well, what he said was
Why can't they all come to
if we're
Chicago?
good, I'm happy. If Vancouver's a good team, I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to stay my whole career in Vancouver as long as I feel there's a chance to win. So Vancouver will be interesting to watch for sure.
Yep. It'll be interesting to watch what they do up until April because I don't have them in the playoffs. My playoff teams are Dallas, Colorado, Winnipeg, Vegas, Edmonton, and L.A. I actually had L.A., Sarah. That's okay. Actually, I blame Blackhawks legend Colin Blackwell on that one. And then I have the Wild and Mammoth. So both wild cards coming out of the Central Division. I don't think Vancouver's a playoff team. I think you know what their organization is, the way that they operate things. I don't think that they're talented enough to overcome the off the ice ridiculousness that is the Vancouver Canucks. And personally, I'm just sick of all the Bedard to Vancouver, Celebrini to Vancouver, now McKenna to Vancouver fans. So I hope that they enjoy watching the Stanley Cup playoffs from home. And I believe in the Mammoth. I think what they've built over the years previously as the Arizona Coyotes and then getting to Utah and kind of building a lot of momentum through last year. They got a good young group that's now maturing in their NHL game. I think it'd be exciting to see them in the postseason. So I got Utah just getting in.
I'm rooting for them too. Kind of like Utah.
When you said I believe in the Mammoth, I heard it as the Joe Hendry theme song. I believe in the Mammoth. That's what I heard.
There's going to be a mammoth appear out of nowhere now.
All right, so
Holy
there you
cow,
go.
it's Logan Cooley. No,
All right, we've got the Stanley Cup Final. I told you from jump, I think the Dallas Stars are running the table. They're going to win the President's Trophy. They're going to get to the Stanley Cup Final, and they are going to win the Stanley Cup over the clearly very motivated Tampa Bay Lightning.
All right.
If there's any Tampa Bay Lightning players alive by the time the regular season begins,
Yeah.
stop punching each other.
That's,
It's the preseason.
Those were all the AHL guys.
It's true.
Those were all
That's true.
Syracuse Crunches.
Some of them, yeah. That's a rematch of the bubble playoffs Cup Final, right?
Yeah.
That was Dallas and Tampa won, so Dallas gets their revenge. I like it. That'd be fun.
I, too, am taking the Dallas Stars to win the Stanley Cup over the New Jersey Devils.
That'd be fun.
I think the Hugheses are going to be
Hughes-eye.
healthy this year, and that's going to
Hughes.
make a big difference. I actually think New Jersey is going to get the President's Trophy this year.
Ooh.
I think they're going to surprise some people. They're going to get off to a hot start and carry it over. Again, to be like, hey, Quinn, look how much fun we're having here.
Dave Chappelle gif.
So, but I think the Stars are just too deep, and I think getting Pete DeBoer out of the picture is going to help them. You have a head coach there that doesn't have that here we go again feeling.
Yeah.
Every time you get to the conference final and think something doesn't go your way, you're going to start blaming everybody else except pointing the thumbs inward. So I think that will be a refreshing change, and they're going to get it done. And who knows what they'll do at the trade deadline to put them over the top. I think they realize this could be the last year for this particular group to really do something. Jamie Benn, Tyler Seguin, Jason Robertson might not be there next year.
Right.
This could be the last run of this group, and I think they've got enough to go over the top.
What's great, by the way, about Pete DeBoer, if Nashville does fire Andrew Burnett, Pete DeBoer's going to be right there at Tootsie's.
Yeah.
They can just grab him right out of the bar and say,
right, or they can
yeah.
probably find him hanging out outside because he creepily follows us around everywhere we go.
That's true.
All right, my Stanley Cup winner, I have the Vegas Golden Knights winning the West and winning the Stanley Cup. I have them going over the Tampa Bay Lightning. And I'm picking Vegas not only because I think that they are a very talented team. They're a team that is going to be, we've seen it before, they are built for playoff hockey. I think the Oilers, the runs that they've had might catch up to them in this postseason. Far be it from me to count out a team with Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, but I think we saw it with the Hawks, like those long playoff runs get to you, and also consider you have the Olympics this year.
Yeah.
So you're going to have Draisaitl and McDavid and Bouchard and those guys all playing extended seasons with the Olympics included. So I don't know about the Oilers.
And they never fixed their goaltending.
Right.
The biggest reason
Not
they
yet,
lost the Stanley Cup Final the last 2 years.
Yeah,
and they
so
didn't fix it.
I'm not sure that the Oilers get there. I got the Golden Knights going over the Lightning. Part of my motivation in picking the Golden Knights is because the poetic end to the story of Mitch Marner leaving Toronto, going to Vegas, will end with him in his first year lifting the Stanley Cup.
I'm not a Vegas fan by any stretch of the imagination, but watching Maple Leafs fans' heads explode with Mitch Marner winning the cup would be
And the Conn Smythe.
would be awesome.
Right,
That
right.
would be incredible.
Yeah.
If Vegas gets there, I'll probably cheer for him just for that.
Yeah.
What if it's Vegas versus Toronto? That would
Oh my God.
that would be
That would require
awesome.
Toronto to win
Well, right,
3 rounds
exactly.
of playoff hockey
which they've never done.
without Mitch Marner now. But
That would be
Yeah, I mean,
awesome to see.
yeah,
I mean,
I'm not.
The national sports writers would love it because they wouldn't have to come up with anything. Those
No,
stories
oh yeah,
write
that's
themselves.
the story right there.
That would be super fun.
Yeah,
Sign me up for that.
I'm not doing it to hate on the Maple Leafs. I'm not going to go against the hockey gods. They've already written the story in the stars. I'm just following it.
Yep. Just like Gavin McKenna's a Penguin.
Yeah.
We know what's going to happen. All right, we're going to hit the break zone right now. When we come back, we're going to do some Blackhawks overs and unders, and then we're going to share our postseason awards. Do us a favor, please hit that like button. Make sure you are subscribed to our YouTube page as well. We'll talk to you in 2 minutes on CHGO Blackhawks, powered by Bet365.
Hey, don't let the constant 80 degrees in October fool you. Winter is on its way. Is your home's heating up for the challenge? If not, check out our friends at Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electric. They've been serving the Chicagoland area for over 50 years, and they have you covered for all of your emergencies. Got a plumbing emergency? Call Four Seasons. Electrical emergency? Call Four Seasons. Need a new hot water tank installed today? Call Four Seasons. Now is the time to schedule your Four Seasons furnace tune-up. And at Four Seasons, they guarantee same-day installation for all of your heating, cooling, plumbing, electrical, and generator needs. And they have no extra charges for nights, weekends, or holidays because that is inevitably when all those things will break.
Correct.
Your trusted local experts are Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electric. Visit fourseasonsheatingcooling.com for all of their special offers and money-saving coupons. Again, that's fourseasonsheatingcooling.com.
And are you heading to our nation's capital for the big Chicago at Washington football squadron game?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to need tickets. How about our friends at Game Time? The Game Time app gives the advantage back to you, the fans. It's the hack for unlocking amazing tickets and experiences in a few taps. Bears, Commanders, get in the door for $111 on Game Time.
Not
That
bad.
is a great deal. And guess what? With Game Time's lowest price guarantee, if you find it cheaper, they're going to match it up to 110% of the difference. And your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the industry. Great stuff. These are guaranteed, legitimate tickets, so you have no fear. You're not going to get a fake ticket when you make the trip to D.C. You get them from Game Time. You are safe. Take the guesswork out of buying NFL tickets with Game Time. Download the app, create an account, and use code CHGO for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply again. Create an account, use the code CHGO for $20 off. Tap, Ticket, Go. Download the Game Time app today. All right, we've got some news. We have the Hawks opening night roster. If we get 3 more likes to get us over 100, we'll tell you what it is.
Yeah.
It's a mystery.
Nobody's posted it.
No one can
anywhere
figure it out.
on
Yeah.
social
No
media.
one can possibly do it.
It's not like they practiced today with
No, we
all
do
those
have it
players.
officially. So, Mario, why don't you just rattle it off quickly?
All right. 23 players will officially start the season with the Chicago Blackhawks. 13 forwards, 8 defensemen, and 2 goaltenders. Before everyone freaks out, Connor Bedard did make the team, along with Tyler Bertuzzi, Andre Burakovsky, Colton Dock, Jason Dickinson, Ryan Donato, Nick Foligno, your captain, Ryan Green, Sam Lafferty, Ilya Mikheyev, Frank Nazar, Teuvo Teravainen, and Lucas Reichel.
Yep.
Defensemen, Louis Crevier, Ethan Del Mastro, Matt Grzelcyk, you are a Blackhawk, Wyatt Kaiser, Artem Levshinov, Connor Murphy, Sam Renzel, and Alex Vlasic. Your goaltenders this season are Spencer Knight and Arvid Soderblom. Forwards, Landon Slaggert and Joey Anderson will start the season on injured reserve, as will goaltender Laurent Brossoit.
yes.
Who still
Not a real person.
TBD if he's real.
And Jem says, why Green over Moore? Because Green is filling in for Landon Slaggert and on the bottom line, so he will center between with
Lafferty
Foligno moving
and
away.
Foligno. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, again,
It's a fit thing, not a ranking thing.
yeah, it's based off of, as Blashill has kind of said over the last week,
Right.
who's going to fit what role, who's going to be best served, staying in Rockford and playing on the top line or playing in a role that they might have in their NHL career.
If it's Teuvo Teravainen that was injured, you'd probably see Oliver Moore.
Right.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Also, Alex Vlasic skated today, is not expected to play tomorrow. I don't think it's a 0% chance, but he's doing okay and should be playing by the weekend. I'd imagine at the latest the home opener, maybe in Boston.
Yeah, for the
because
fact
he is on the trip.
For the fact that he traveled and skated today, I would think by home opener he should be good to go.
Yeah, I bet you he wants to play tomorrow, but I'm sure he wants to play in Boston. He knows he's got a lot of friends out there from his time at BU.
Yep.
That would be, but yeah, it's so early in the season. Just play it safe.
All right, let's get to our Blackhawks overs and unders. First one we have Connor Bedard points over under 70.5.
67 last season. So I do the hand motion off camera. I'm smashing this over. I think all the talk this offseason and this summer about him and his training, trying to get faster, trying to add that step, and trying to mature in his game, for me, through training camp in the preseason, all of those things are true. I think this is going to be a new version of Connor Bedard at 20 years old that's got 2 years of NHL experience under his belt, and I think collectively as a group, the 23 names that we just named off is a better group than he's played with since he's been in Chicago. And I think, a rising tide raises all ships, or whatever that saying is. I think that's going to be true for Bedard. I think he gets I think he flirts with, if not hits, point per game this year.
All right. Oh yeah, it's going to be way over. As long as he's healthy and plays, it'll be over. I think he's going to flirt with. I think he'll be over a point per game, flirting with 90 points this season. Take that step. We saw the last 2 preseason games. He had 19 shot attempts.
Yeah.
Dude wants to
That's
score
like a week
goals.
last year.
And that's what we were hollering for all last year. Shoot more.
Cranking up that one-timer. He's getting in the Ovechkin spot on the power play. He's not the guy out there trying to facilitate everything. He's getting into the soft spot of the ice and trying to shoot. He's got 2 veterans on his line this year who clearly know what their job is. Find 98, get him the puck. He's going to have that year where he shuts up a lot of people.
I agree. Over for sure. At least point per game. I'm not going to go as high as 90 just yet because we'll get to it a little bit later. A little bit of a spoiler. I don't think his line mates will be healthy the whole season. But I do think well over 70 and a half, well over point per game, just short of 90 would be my prediction. Next over-under we have is Frank Nazar over 40 and a half points.
I'm smashing this over with a Thor-like hammer.
Now, these were based on his points per game last year over 82.
Yeah.
So that would have been what he would have scored over 82 games last year at the same
A full
pace.
season of Frank Nazar, the way that he's been playing this preseason, the way he finished last season. You play him with Teuvo Teravainen and Tyler Bertuzzi. He's getting top power play opportunity. And just the confidence that he plays with, the way he plays the game, I think is going to fit really well into what Jeff Blashill is trying to do here, and I think already does. I'm not going to be shocked if Frank Nazar finishes second in points this year, and it's well over 40 and a half.
Yeah, if Frank Nazar plays all 82 games and has under 40 and a half points, that's not good.
Sophomore slump.
It's not good.
That would be shocking.
Something has gone terribly wrong. So I think out of all of our over-unders, this one is probably the safest bet to play the over.
Yeah,
I think so too. For the record, we all picked over 60 points for Philip Kurashev last year, just saying. Okay,
Well,
next up.
we're dumb.
Next up, we have Ryan Donato over under 55 and a half points. 61 last year.
I'm putting my Thor hammer down. I'm going to go under on this one, but slightly. 55 and a half, I would love it. I think if he could replicate what he did last year, that is tremendous. I think it's going to be closer to 50, maybe 55. If he's about 52 points, that's what I think is probably more realistic. I think it's probably more along the lines of the guy he can be more consistently. And playing with Burakovsky and Bedard to start the season, those are good line mates to have if you're a guy that can put in 20 goals and about 50 points to get there and maybe be a little bit better. But I'm going to say about 52, so I'm going to go under.
I, too, will say under. I don't think the 30-goal mark that he hit last year will be repeated. So I think he'll pick up 30-ish, 35 assists playing on that top line, but I don't think he'll score as many goals just because his shooting percentage was crazy last year, and he doesn't. With the addition, with Nazar taking a step this year, like we all say he's going to, and some of the other additions here, he doesn't have to be the top. He was the top goal scorer last year. He doesn't have to be that guy this year. So I think he'll be under 55 and a half, not by much. I still think he'll, get close to that, but under.
I've got him at an even 50, so I'm going under as well. But like Mario said, not significantly so. I like that number for Ryan. And that, by the way, 50 points for him, that is a successful season.
That's
perfectly fine.
That would be his second highest in his career, next to last year.
$4 million for a 50-point player? Yeah.
Yeah,
that's good.
Pretty
That'll
good.
work. All right, next up, we've got Andrei Burakovsky points, 45 and a half.
45 and a half? Oh, I had a different number. Either way, I'm going to go over. I'm going to say Burakovsky. The big thing is if he can stay healthy. But I think if he can and plays upwards of 70, 80 games, I I think he's going to be a guy that can flirt with that 50-point marker. I think him and Donato, along with Bedard, I think if those guys are in the 50s range, then you're talking about Bedard's probably getting into the 80-point and if not higher range. So I'm going to go Burakovsky over 45 and a half.
I'm going to hit the over as well. I think, again, health being the biggest question mark, but if he plays 70 games, I think he can definitely get over, for at least 46 points. He's going to be on that top line. He'll get some power play. He's one of those guys that can, have that 8 to 10 game streak where he's just on fire and pad his stats. So I think he'll flirt with the 50-point range this year.
I've got him under simply because he has shown an inability to stay healthy. If he stays healthy, I think he's going to have a really big year. If he plays 82 games, I think 50 is an easy bet for me. I would even probably take him into the 60s. The guy's got a lot of talent. He's got a lot of skill. When he's been healthy and not recovering from injury, he's put up big numbers. And look, he did those in Colorado where he was not playing huge minutes like McKinnon was. And you know what I mean? Like he was a middle six guy on those teams and still putting up big numbers. So I think if he's healthy for 82 or even like 75 games and plays most of the year with Bedard, which he probably will, I think he'll have a big number. But I just think history has shown Burakovsky's had some trouble staying healthy. He already tweaked something in the preseason and in camp and missed a couple days. And those soft tissue injuries tend to linger. So hopefully he can stay healthy. But simply because I think he's going to miss some time, I'm going to go under 45.5. All right, next up, we have Oliver Moore games played. This is just not an over or under. Just give me a number.
37.
In a row?
Nice.
Total.
I have 39 games.
I'm going with exactly 41, half the season.
Okay.
I've got half the season for Oliver Moore. Same question, Kevin Korchinski. How many games played for Kevin Korchinski in the NHL this season?
23. I think he'll have 2 stints of 10 to 12 games where he's up and then goes back down for some sort of injury replacement for somebody. Not wishing injury, but it's inevitable that people will get hurt. But yeah, I think he's going to get 2 double-digit stints, but doesn't stick all year.
I have him playing 27 NHL games this year, probably towards the end of the year. I hope it's a lot more than that.
That'd be great.
That means he's been really good, but the guy I saw in training camp, not super excited about.
It's understandable.
But not writing him off, not demanding he gets traded. Still a long way to go in his development, and hopefully we see that to where if he gets up here late in the year, he stays up here.
Mm-hmm. I hope that's the case. I hope that once he's back, he never goes back to Rockford.
Yeah, that would be nice.
That would be a really nice development for Kevin Korchinski. I have him in an even 20.
Okay.
Next up, shutouts for the Blackhawks. Last year, 0.
What?
With the young defensive core.
Sure.
Yes. With the young defensive core, will they get a shutout this year? Over under 1/2.
I think you give Spencer Knight 55 games, one of them he posts a donut. I think he's gonna take this opportunity. He's talented enough. I think he gets at least a shutout this year, at least one, maybe 2. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. I think as a group between him and Soderblom, I think they do it this year. I think both of those guys have the ability to seal a game if necessary. I think one thing that can help that specific stat and is the defensive group and also the offensive group, just the collective as a whole, the way that they can play. I think we're going to see a team that's going to, more than they have in the last 2 seasons, possess the puck more, which if you have the puck more, means you're playing defense less, in theory.
That's true. That checks out.
So I think this team will be able to have the puck more often and be able to play a little bit better team defense moving forward. So I think they at least get one.
I'll go with the over. I say both goalies, Spencer Knight and Oliver Soderblom, get a shutout apiece. So 2 to the team.
I'm going over, but only the Rempus gets one. And his glorious return to the NHL.
His first game back.
I'm going over. I think they'll get 2. But I think the young defense is going to probably cost them some opportunities there. But I think they get certainly more than 1. I'm going to say 2. They're going to have 200% more shutouts than last year.
Nice.
All right. I just added this one on my own.
Fun.
Calder Trophy top 5 vote getters. Over under 1.5.
Over under 1.5 Blackhawks in the top 5?
Yes.
Okay.
Of the Calder Trophy voting.
Under.
I'm going to say under.
They get 1.
Okay. So I'm assuming you're saying Rinzel, not Levshunov?
Likely, yes.
I'm going to say Rinzel, and I'm going to say he's going to have a really good rookie season, but I think there's going to be some other rookies that get more chatter around them.
I think Rinzel is a Calder finalist, but we'll have to stay tuned to see if I picked him to win the Calder Trophy.
Ooh, that's exciting.
Okay.
All right. I'm going under on that as well. Okay. NHL debuts for the Blackhawks. So we already have Oliver Moore's played games. Ryan Green has already played games. Rinzel and Levshunov have played games. I set that number at 1.5.
Mm-hmm. I'm hammering this over. I think I'm going to go out on a limb. I think we get 4 this season. I think we get Nick Lardis. I think we get AJ Spellacy. I think we get. I'll hold off on Spellacy because Windsor. I think they're 8-0 to start the OHL season. So
is that good?
They might be playing late into the year. I'll still say 4 though. I'll change it on the fly. Lardis, Frondell. I think he comes over and plays once the SHL season's over. Boisvert, I think he'll play once the NCAA season's over. And I'm going to say Roman Kanserov.
Ooh.
I think he comes over at the end of the KHL season. Hopefully his team's done by March, April. And I think that we've heard that the plan is for him to be in the mix for next season. Wouldn't it be great? Wouldn't it be great if Kyle Davidson says, you know what, we know you're already going to be here next year. Why don't you come over a little bit earlier? We'll get something worked out. We'll get you playing here in April. Get you accustomed to the group that you're going to play with and go forward from there.
Yeah, I'm going to hit the over at least 4. I think Kanserov will be here. The KHL playoffs start in February. So, their season starts in August. So
it's already been.
They're already 15 games into their regular season. So he could be here by mid-February, early March if that's what they want to do. Frondell is definitely a serious contender to be here. Again, Swedish League, they're already 10 games in. They'll be done with their season. And who knows if his team's even going to make the playoffs. If they do, it's not going to be a deep run, most likely. So he could be done by mid-February. Boisvert, definitely a prime candidate. The only thing that may prevent that is if BU goes all the way to the national championship. That's going to be right about the end of the regular season. So maybe you bring him in and he goes and plays in the Calder Cup playoffs. Lardis maybe makes a game or 2 this year. A guy like Sammy Savoie could make his appearance at some point this year. You mentioned Spellacy, maybe. A guy like Vanacker is another guy that maybe makes a game or 2 at the end of the season. So they got a lot of options, and if you listen to Ice Hogs general manager Mark Bernard, Paul Lewinsky might be making
all right.
I wouldn't put any money on that, but he's
interesting.
He thinks he's having a breakout season this year in the AHL.
That would be good
because he's embracing his role as a bottom 6 forward.
Great.
That would be good.
That's good. I have 5. I have Sasha Boisvert, Aiden Thompson, Nick Lardis, Anton Frondell, and I think Samuel Savoie is going to get a call at some point this year, just because I like him.
Aiden Thompson's a good pick.
And I want him here.
I think that
Aiden Thompson's like kind of a forgotten guy, but it feels like someone you can call up in a jam. He got some injuries and just let him. He's not going to hurt you.
He feels like a guy that like late in the season, they're going to be like, hey, you've really busted your ass. We're going to give you 2 or 3 games in the NHL as a reward for it. Because I feel like he's got that in him.
I could see that for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, if you need a guy that come in and play, 9 minutes on the fourth line and not kill you, there's a good candidate right there.
Okay, trade deadline moves. Now, I'm going to throw a caveat in here. I think that Lucas Reichel will be gone soon, but at least before the new year. So I'm not counting that as a deadline move.
All right.
I'm talking like within a few weeks of the trade deadline. I set that number.
So post-Olympics.
Are you saying post-Olympics?
Let's do that for the sake of argument. Let's say post-Olympics.
In the 10-day skirmish leading up to the deadline.
So I set the over-under at 4.5. You've got Foligno, Dickinson, Mikheyev, Lafferty as unrestricted free agents. You have Connor Murphy as an unrestricted free agent, and whatever the hell happens with Laurent Brossoit. And I also think Matt Grzelcyk could be another option to move if you feel guys are ready. So 4.5 over/under deadlines after moves after the Olympic break, before the deadline.
I am going under, but I'm going 4. I'm thinking Dickinson, Murphy. Well, okay, so I had Reichel as one of the 4.
Okay,
but if we're gonna put it this way, I'll still go under, but it'll be 3. Dickinson, Murphy, and Grzelcyk.
I too have under 4.5. Murphy is obviously going to be a good trade candidate if he stays healthy.
Big if.
Grzelcyk is another guy that definitely could be moved. Dickinson is a guy teams will look at if the Blackhawks want to move on there. I know he expressed interest when he signed his 2-year deal that he wants to see this thing out and play more. But, if he has a season similar to what we saw last year, and Mikheyev has a season like he had last year, it's time to move on. Mm-hmm. So those 3 guys are candidates. Lafferty's a candidate, but, maybe a weird one gets thrown in there. But I think you're only going to see maybe 3 trades at the deadline. Definitely, there's no way it's 5 or more.
I've got Dickinson, Murphy, Lafferty, and Grzelcyk moving. I think Foligno stays. I think they keep Mikheyev. I think he gets another contract here because he's just really versatile, and they're a fast team. He plays fast. He fits what they're doing here.
Jeff Blashill is a huge fan of his.
Mm-hmm.
It's. Yeah, I don't. There's no way. I think it's. They're gonna trade 5 guys this year, unless it's a cheeseburger.
Who can afford that? All right, postseason. Oh yes, he can. Postseason awards. Speaking of Connor McDavid, let's start with the Hart Trophy for league MVP. That's who I'm going with. Connor McDavid, freshly inked. If you missed the news, signed a 2-year extension, $12.5 million. So he's got 3 years left with Edmonton for the Oilers to show that they can put a team behind him that can win, which in my opinion, they've already done, but that's just me. They made it to the Cup Final twice. They lost in Game 7. That is a Stanley Cup team, but he needs to see that consistency. He needs to see the long-term commitment. So it's a show-me deal for the Oilers, not for Connor McDavid, but I've got him winning the Hart Trophy.
And he's also waiting for that salary cap to take that other $20 million jump too. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. If he hits free agency in 3 years with a salary cap that's going to be like $120 million or something like that, he's gonna double what he's making what he signed his extension for.
Yeah. My Hart Trophy winner is a guy that should have won it a couple years ago. Part of the reason I think the Dallas Stars are winning it all this year and will be the best team in the Western Conference is because Mikko Rantanen has an amazing year and really, really, really makes Colorado regret not just giving him the $12.5 million.
Oh, my God.
Idiots.
Yeah.
And now they're doing the same thing with Natchez.
Right. Not the same type of
the
player,
same money.
but
Yeah.
I mean, if that was the prize return for what you got for Rantanen and you let him walk,
Yeah.
GM's got to get fired.
You would think.
Well, while they're trying to figure out that answer, I'm going to say Nathan McKinnon goes out and has himself a Hart Trophy type of season. I think I think there is a real thing in the NHL sometimes of Connor McDavid fatigue, and I think there are times where people just kind of be like, yeah, well, it's McDavid. Yeah, well, he's got 150 points. Okay. I think when it comes down to Hart voting, that can sometimes play a factor. But I think McKinnon is a guy that's going to put up 120, 130 points and just
easy
and just be an animal for Vegas or Colorado. So Nathan McKinnon's my Hart winner.
All right, next up, Calder Trophy for Rookie of the Year. I'm going with Ivan Demidov of the Montreal Canadiens.
You bum. way to bow down to the peer pressure.
I know. I just think that just similar to Bedard, for the record, it's his to lose. Someone else has to clearly beat him to win the Calder. I feel like Montreal writers and Canadian writers have already written in Ivan Demidov. They're just waiting for the ink to dry. Yeah. I think that is it. It will be up to him to lose in my mind.
Yeah, I also have Demidov winning the Calder. I think there's going to be some really good rookies. I think Zane Parekh is in that conversation. Steve Bouillam's in that conversation. Sam Renzel is in that conversation. But you'll notice all three of them are defensemen, and it's going to be tough for a rookie defenseman to outshine a guy that has the talent of Ivan Demidov in Montreal's market. I think he's the clear favorite right now.
Well, last year everybody wanted to just give it to either Michkov or Celebrini to begin the year, and Lane Hudson ended up winning the Calder. So I think this year, obviously the Demidov hype train is real.
Yes, it is.
Playing in Montreal is definitely going to help him get votes. Mm-hmm. But I'm going with a little bit of an upset here. I'm going with Ryan Leonard of the Washington Capitals. I think he's going to have a big year. He's going to fit right in. He's going to benefit for some OV love.
Yeah.
And, he's going to get that Dylan Strome bump. I think he's going to surprise some people, and I think he'll win it because Demidov won't have the huge season that everybody's predicting. He'll be good, but he won't be great, and Leonard will be great.
When I saw that pick when you were submitting them, he seems like just watching him play for USA and the World Juniors and everything. You're like, that's an NHL player. Mm-hmm. He just jumps off the screen as a dude you can just plug and play, and he's ready to go. So yeah, I like that one a lot. That's a good pick.
I like that pick.
All right, Vezina Trophy for outstanding goaltender. I'm going with Igor Shesterkin. I think the Rangers are going to have a big bounce back. I think he's going to be part of it.
I echo that because that's my pick. And yes, I have the Rangers back in the playoffs, and it's going to be because Shesterkin, I mean, let's not forget, he was a Vezina Trophy 2 winner and almost Hart Trophy winner 2 years ago. He's one of the best, if not the best goalie in the year. He's going to be the biggest reason that team's back in the playoffs.
All right.
Helping the Dallas Stars win the Central Division, it will be on the back of Jake Ottinger.
You are like the president of the Jake Ottinger fan club.
I just think he's really good.
Do you have that otter tattoo yet somewhere?
That's TBD. On your hip? That's for CHGO OnlyFans.
All right, next up we're going to go Norris Trophy for the best defenseman in the league. As I said, Colorado, I feel like, will be on a mission this year. I think Cale Makar is going to be a huge part of it. So Cale Makar gets the Norris. So I know, going out on a limb on that one.
Yeah.
I am going to go with Quinn Hughes with the caveat that he gets 100 points this season.
And he will look like his dog just died.
Yeah, and he won't smile once. I just think he's going to be in FU mode to be like, hey, Vancouver, you want to keep me here? Price of poker just went up.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like, he's going to put pressure on Vancouver management to make him one of the top played players in the league.
That's a good pick. I think Cale Makar is going to have another monster season. Him, Quinn Hughes, Adam Fox, they're young defensemen that have just matured over the last few years and just established themselves as some of the best in the league. Miro Heiskanen's another guy that I think is going to have a big impact for that Stars team. But I'm going with Makar. I just think he's the best defenseman in the league and just proves it night in, night out.
All right, last one we've got here is the Selke Trophy for Best Defensive Forward. I think for the first time in a long time, it will not be a center.
It can't be Alex Barkov.
I am picking Mitch Marner.
Oh, okay.
That is my pick for the Selke.
All right.
I like that.
He was a finalist before. Now that Barkov is out of the running and Bergeron is retired,
one more for Anze Kopitar.
Yeah, right.
On the way
Yeah.
out.
I mean, maybe.
For sure.
But I think just because of recent play, and he's a recent finalist too, and where he plays, and now having, more spotlight on him, Austin Matthews gets to Selke.
Okay.
Oh, that is
Interesting.
not who I thought you were going to say. I thought you were going to say
this guy over here.
I thought you were going to say the guy who was second last year and is replacing the guy who was first last year, Sam Reinhart. That's my pick.
All right.
I think the fact that you have Barkov out, Reinhart's going to be more in the spotlight in Florida and is still looked at as that two-way guy that needs to have that big impact. With Barkov gone, I think he's going to get more responsibility. And I think he's going to be a guy that could touch 100 points and also be one of the top defensemen. That sounds like a Selke winner.
All right, there it is. There's our 2025-26 prediction show. With that, we slam the doors shut on the offseason. The NHL season begins. We are exactly 24 hours from our first pregame show of the season. 3:30 tomorrow afternoon, we'll do your Hawks and Panthers pregame ahead of the puck drop at 4 o'clock.
Nothing says NHL hockey like Tuesday afternoon season opening.
I'm pretty happy
Hockey.
about the 4 o'clock start time.
No problem with me being home by 8.
That's what
that
I was
sounds
saying,
wonderful.
too.
Sure, that's fine.
Yes, I would love that. So join us tomorrow at 3:30 for the pregame. And just a reminder, Greg will be with us every home game starting Saturday. We're going to be out at the red carpet. If you want to come and say hi, do so. We'll be there. And we're looking forward to the season starting tomorrow. Remember, 3:30 pregame. Be here with us. We'll talk to you then as the 2025-26 season officially starts in Sunrise, Florida with the Hawks and the Panthers. We made it, everybody. Hockey's back. Talk to you tomorrow on the CHGO Blackhawks podcast.
We all silly like the mayor.